Well, there's been a lot of talk about UFOs, and some of you also know about Project Bluebeam. Someone also knows about Cal Rose, who worked with Werner von Braun, which kept saying that the last card was the alien card. Well, there's many substances in the so-called contrails, as they call it, or Wikipedia wants to call it, even though we can go on the internet and find all kinds of patterns of weather modifications with these particular particulates that is being accumulated in our atmosphere, in our ground, in our bodies, in everything living, these nano-sized particles that the airplanes is letting out is a major concern health-wise, but it has a purpose. I have said many times, if anybody believes in the theory about Planet X, I even made a video several years ago where I described by frequency how they can cloak out colors. And I actually called that video How to Cloak Nibiru with Frequencies and Chemtrails. It took YouTube back then 2 days to remove my video and give me a copyright strike for it. I don't understand why the hell they did that. Because it's just my own research. It's not something super secret. And it just tells me that I was right over the target. Why would they remove my video about that, and then give me a copyright strike on it? I don't understand that. But I showed how you could, with frequencies in the chemtrails, when you excite barium, strontium, titanium, copper, and so on in nanosize with frequencies, it has a certain effect that can cloak out colors. And I dare to say that if they want the sky to go black in midday, they can do so. They want the sky to look blood red in midday, they can do so. They want light in nighttime, they can do so. You see, the old analog TVs, the inside of the screen, inside the glass, not that you can get in touch with unless you break the glass. When the TV is turned off, the TV screen is gray in appearance. That's because on the inside, right there on the thick part of the glass that points towards you, but on the inside of that glass, it is coated with nano-sized particulates of barium. And by the 3 different lamps that was in the back of the TV tube projecting towards the barium layer, they can project living pictures. Like like you watch TV in the old times. Live motion pictures in colors, full colors, true colors. That's the barium. Come on. What is that crap? It's not my laptop. This wouldn't happen on my laptop. My laptop is not NSA secure, but anything else who wants to get in cannot get in, because I have had many problems with my computer because I'm over the target, I'm being attacked, and then I got malicious software all of a sudden in my system. So I'm running some pretty expensive, high-end malware protection programs on my own laptop. This is my wife's, and it hasn't been updated and used for a very long time. So, in order to emulate these colors, motion pictures on the TV screen, these lights behind in the TV tube project to the backside of your screen and emulate it into living colors. Now, if you look at Project Bluebeam, this is exactly what we're going to witness. It will be like this because this phenomenon is being perpetrated around the globe. And here's a classic example of a saturated atmosphere. This is sunset somewhere that's actually in Haslett, Texas. It's the early morning hours, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, at 7:13 a.m. And this picture is from January 14th, 2023. You can see the hue in the atmosphere. You can see how much goo that is hanging up. Shadow Burns 3D just made some videos here recently, which I suggest you go watch. Maybe I can put a link to his channel so you can watch it. He's describing hexagon-shaped burn marks on leaves, even on glass. So there are some vibrations going on that is creating a hexagon pattern. I don't know exactly what frequency that will create a hexagon pattern, but there's definitely be a frequency being emitted from somewhere. It don't necessarily have to be from the sun. So let's just for good measure, what frequency create hexagon. Okay. So here we got some of the frequencies that is creating a hexagon shape. So we have them in kilohertz, 37, 77, 124, 141, 171. And in kilohertz again, 186, 210, 238, 289, 297. This is in kilohertz. This is not even megahertz. So here we down at the analog spectrum. And I bet you noticed back in the Obama days how important it was for the powers that be to transition us away from analog to digital. Why is that? Well, here's my explanation to that, and that's the fact. I don't even have to research that. I just know that to be the fact. They need the analog frequency band in order to emulate false images in the sky for you to believe that we are under attack by a UFO invasion, alien invasion. Therefore, everything is now digital, and the analog system is completely overtaken by the military-industrial complex. In order for them to be able to emulate whatever they want in the sky for you to see and also hear, you will believe, if you're not protected by the full armor of God, if you're one of those woke idiots, you will believe and you will be in fear, and your heart will fail you for looking after those things coming upon the earth. Let me tell you one thing, you have nothing to fear. What you're seeing in the sky is fake. It's not real. They just want to scare you into submission. They want to create this new world order under the guise that the whole world is under attack by interstellar alien beings, and we must come together in unity in order to defeat this. And all of it is hope. It's not real. It will be real when the Antichrist comes, but he's not here yet. We haven't had our World War III. We haven't had our peace treaty yet, so we don't know who the son of perdition is yet. So don't even speculate about who that is. You don't know. It doesn't matter how many Hebrew calculations you do in the geometria. It doesn't matter. It could be Santa Claus because he comes up at 666. It could be New York City because that comes up at 666. It could be Monsanto that comes up at 666. It just happened to be that. So Monsanto is not the Antichrist. But Monsanto is part of that grand scheme. But Monsanto is no longer under its own name anymore. It's now under the name of Bayer, B-A-U-E-R, which is a giant German pharmaceutical company. Don't we just love pharmaceuticals? Pharmakia, which means witchcraft, which means hocus pocus, abracadabra, and all that crap. All the evil stuff. That's what pharmakia is. Pharmacy. Pharmacies or pharmaceutical companies is not out to find a cure. They're out to find new customers. So by inducing crap into our food, into our water, into the air we breathe, we will need the pharmaceutical companies' help in order to maintain our way of life in somewhat decent condition, with a lot of bad side effects that eventually will kill you. But in the meantime, while they're killing you slowly, they're making fat cash on you. That's how they work. Pure evil. Pharmakia is evil. It stems from evil. Now here again, I have pretty much for the last decade explained to you again and again and again and again that you and I and around the world, all of us is bathing in metal. What comes up must come down. These nanoparticulates are so small that they can stay aloft for a very long time, because hot air is light. It raises up to the upper atmosphere and keeping these metal particulates aloft for an extended period of time, where cold air, think, is heavier than hot air. Therefore, it creates on top of the colder air a layer of this goo, as you see here in this image. You can see it with the naked eye. You know this is not normal. This is not a forest fire. This is metals you're looking at. And because you can see it like that, it's because in the way the picture is taken here, I'm somewhere, I don't even know where the hell that is. It's taken this year at 3:56 p.m. somewhere. I have no idea where it is. Maybe I can find out. Wait a minute. File info. Yeah. February. No, it does not say which location it's taken in. But it's somewhere. I speculate it's Oklahoma. Kind of looked like it. But I'm looking through the atmosphere. I am looking through the thickest part of the atmosphere, meaning I'm looking towards the horizon. The more zenith I'm looking, the more bluish it becomes. Because between here and all the way up to so-called space is 62 miles, or is it 62 kilometers? It doesn't matter. Let's say space. That's the shortest distance. When I'm looking that way, I'm looking further. And you can see all the haze in the atmosphere, or you can see the hue, you can see the metal particulates. And again, you can see the metal particulates here too in the atmosphere. Look at all this illuminated here. That wouldn't be like that if it wasn't because of reflective materials. Let's then do something else just for the fun of it. Postcard of, let's say, tropical places. See what shows up. Images. You see, it might not be a big one, but that's how the sky looked like once, right? Find another one like that. Deep blue sky. Let's go, let's say, tropical places. 1980. That's before it became real shitty with all the chemtrails. That's a small one. Oh, it became a little bigger. You see how deep blue that is? That's Waikiki beach in Honolulu, Hawaii. You find another one, just an example. But you can see you have a deep blue sky. And this is a picture that is not edited. I guarantee you that. But look at that. Look at the color of the sky. You see that? It's not deep blue. It's kind of baby blue, whitish mix, kind of milky. That's because of all the metal particulates that is floating around up there. I'm telling you, I'm not lying to you. And all this stuff here is not real. This is not cloud, people. Nothing natural about that. All these images are mine. This is Richard Chambers Reservoir in Corsicana, Texas. Look at that. That's definitely something you're familiar with. But look at all this stuff over here. Again, you can see I'm looking up in the atmosphere here. Come on with all this crap. Up, you look high, you see the bluish. The further down, the thicker the atmosphere you're looking through becomes, and it turns all hue. Even the sun is a hue. You see it here very clear where the sun is in the image. I have some reflections here from the dashboard. It doesn't matter. It still illustrates clearly what I'm talking about. You and I are bathing in metals. And just to make it absolutely clear, barium is the medium, probably with some other of these metals they're spraying up there, going to have the effect of emulate false images in 3D shape with sound emulated through, I don't know, harp arrays of some sort, voice to skull. So everybody will hear it, and everybody will be caught off guard, and everybody will pay attention. Because everybody will see it. And everybody who is not protected by Yeshua HaMashiach, you're going to fall for it. You're going to pee your pants, and you're going to go along with the program. You're going to take the mark of the beast in hope of staying alive, and then you condemn yourself. And again, here, I don't even know where that is. It's somewhere in August 4th at 7:25 p.m. somewhere. I have no idea where that is. That's recently. Oh, I know. That's actually sunset, before sunset. This is in the city called Jarrell in Texas. I remember that. I was going over to get some Mexican food. I love Mexican food. Oh. This is Dallas. This week. Coming back from Jacksonville, Texas. And you can see the atmosphere. Again, you see it. You see this wispy stuff here. It shouldn't be like that. That should just be the clouds and the sun and a deep blue sky. But you see, there's nothing deep blue here. Nothing at all. Especially in the vicinity where the sun is, where it's really lit up. This is all reflecting materials. Another thing, this is the supermoon I tried to take a picture of here in Louisiana. I was sleeping in Alexandria. And it's not a good image. I know. But you can still see the hue. Even with the moonlight, you see all this stuff here. Right? But, they're talking about climate change. It started out with global warming, and then it became climate change. I know. there is stuff going on. The sun is giving an output we've never seen before. Never will again. Okay, it's going to get worse. Much worse. You think this summer was bad? You have another thing coming. This is nothing. This is just a, what do you want to call it, an appetite of what's to come. When the entree comes in, you don't got room for the dessert. Guarantee you that. Men will be scorched by the sun. That's how powerful the sun is going to become. It's going to be 7 times more powerful than it is now. Imagine that. There will be no running water in the creeks, in the rivers, in the lakes. Everything will dry up, evaporate, and it won't come back down. So there's going to be a war of water for the survivors. Critical. 70% of your body is water. You need water. And Nestle, I think it's a Swiss company, says it's not a human right. Water is not a human right. Yes, it is. But that's, of course, uttered by a Nazi, the CEO of Nestle. So if you got any problems with that and you don't like the idea of that, I suggest never buy any Nestle products again. Boycott them, just like Bud Light. Boycott them. Just stop buying that shit. It's that simple. Now, regarding all these particulates that are staying aloft for a very long time, months, they're trying to reflect sunlight coming to Earth. But it is coming through because they can't reflect the infrared rays. They cannot reflect the gamma rays coming from the sun and from space. They go through unfiltered. And UVC light was normally being filtered out in the ozone layer. UVC light now hits the ground. UVC light causes skin cancer. It causes cataract. It's hitting the ground. And it's burning our vegetation. As John Shadowburns 3D was talking about. It's burning our vegetation. And there's no stopping it. But now they're talking about climate change, right? Everything is heating up. That's true. It is heating up. But it's not because of you and me. I guarantee you that. The human carbon footprint is irrelevant to what's going on. But this climate change idiocracy, this ideology, this religion that the elite now is perpetrating on you, which means they're going to put more fires everywhere, like Lahaina, like in California, like in Greece, like in France, and blame it on climate change. And it's you and I that is to blame. What the heck? Oh, what the heck is going on with this laptop? This is annoying. Did you see my dogs? Man, I hate stuff like that. Leave me alone. I'm doing something. Stop bothering me. Unbelievable. This is an intrusion. So, we have all these metal particulates that is designed to bounce off harmful rays and sunlight in order to minimize the so-called global warming or climate change. But that's a double whammy, and it's a contradiction in terms. What the hell? Just keep going. Stop it. Oh, maybe I should just do this. Good. Stop. Ain't gonna do that again. Yeah, go away. Psst. Go out there. Vanish. So, the heat that is already accumulating inside the Earth's core, if we have a core, I don't know. Some say the Earth is flat, some say the Earth is a globe. we don't really have the knowledge for real. None of us has been in space. None of us has seen the Earth from the above. And those who have, with the GoPro cameras and rockets, yeah, they're being shadow banned very fast. There's something to it. Something. But the ground heat and what's coming from the inside of the Earth radiating up, hot air goes up, cold air goes down. Meaning the hot air goes up. But what is it hitting? It's hitting a blanket of metal particulates. And it's acting like a Thermo Bottle. It is reflecting the hot infrared rays, which it is, infrared is hot, back to Earth. So it's a never-ending cycle. It's the Ouroboros, the snake that bites its own tail. It's never going to go away because the natural heat from the Earth can no longer escape into space or into the upper atmosphere and be cooled off, as it normally would. That's not happening anymore, especially on the Western Hemisphere, the Northern Hemisphere, especially there. Because from what I know of so-called Operation Lockstep, it is the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds' determination that the Western world needs to be killed. And that, I mean killed. No room for white people except them. That means you and I have a target on our back. They want us dead. And I've said that for a decade too. They want to kill us. They want the Western civilization to go bye-bye. Because the Western civilization is highly educated and they ask questions. And they don't take no for an answer. So therefore they have to be eliminated. What they need is submissive, complicit slaves for the New World Order system. Just go watch the movie in 1984. Gives you a pretty good image of what they have in mind for you. Actually, it gives an exact image of what they have in mind for you. Exact. Because George Orwell, who wrote the book, he had inside information. This is what they intend to do. Living in closed cities with armed guards all around the city so you can't escape. And in there you're living and finishing your life miserably. And it goes in lockstep with what Klaus Schwab, the Nazi, is saying. You will own nothing and be happy. And as Aldous Huxley said, who is a Freemason, he said that people would be content with their slavery through medication. Oh, pharmacia. Oh, Bill Gates. You see? Gradually, in increments, they tighten up the noose on you. Slowly and surely. It is the infamous story about the frog in the pot. If you put a frog into boiling water, it immediately jumps out of it. But if you put the frog in the cold water, it stays, and you can start the fire underneath it, and it will slowly cook to death. You won't notice the change. And this is exactly what they're doing to humanity, especially in the Western world. And most people, unfortunately, is going to fall for it. Scriptures tells us they will, and the whole world will marvel after the beast. So, and I can say all the prophecies in the Holy Bible is telling that story. And all of those prophecies that is written in the Bible has come to pass. And there are prophecies that has yet to come to pass. It begs the question, you woke people, you stupid people, to be honest. Sorry I call you stupid because you are stupid. You act stupid. What makes you think that if all the prophecies in the Bible that has been fulfilled, right? All of them. And there's still more prophecies. What makes you think for 1 second that it's not going to be fulfilled? They will. And you are going to suffer the consequences for your disbelief and your disobedience. Guaranteed. I don't want you to suffer. I surely don't. But man, you need to wake up. This time, this snowball is running down that mountain. It is gaining speed. And it's getting bigger. And when it hits, it's going to be worse than an avalanche. Your heart will fail you for looking after those things coming upon you. Next image. This is Louisiana. I'm on my way on Louisiana 6, going east towards Texas. And again, you see this milky white sky. I'm coming out on the bridge. You see this milky blue stuff. It's pretty. I know, it looks pretty. But the sky is not pretty. You can see it deeper, and then it's just become more and more pale. Pretty much like white with a tint of blue. Here you got it again. And again. One side, that's towards the south, and that's towards the north. And I'm going east. You see it's all over. And this is the racetrack today, meaning yesterday, if you're looking at it. This is taken on 1st of September at 6:33, 2023. This is Thermo Bottle Speedway. Look at the sky. Look at the hue. Look at that. It's Texas 114 West. Next to the racetrack is over here. Look at that hue. Look at all the shit in the atmosphere. That's not from fires. This is from what they're putting in the sky through airplanes. Like that. This is why. And here is the image, honeycomb cut pattern by pressure of sunlight frequency bands of light. This is from shadow burn. I took a screenshot of his community tab. And if you look closely, you can see hexagon shapes. This is pretty astounding. This is bloody insane. Yeah, to end this video, this is your answer. This is your only answer. And there's no way around that. You cannot escape that fact. Because everything in this book is true. And all the prophecy that has not been fulfilled yet are going to be fulfilled. So it would be very wisely of you to consider that. Have that in the back of your mind, because now I have told you, if you are a disbeliever. I know this is the funny thing about human psyche. That is, if you are paying attention, and yet not paying attention, and you just think that Henning here, he's a Bible thumper, he's a conspiracy theorist. Let me assure you one thing, which I know from psychology. Everything I've just told you now will be stored on a hologram memory in your brain. You will always remember what I said. The reason for why you will is because I'm showing you images. I am not showing you a rolling movie. You see, if you are talking about stuff while you have moving pictures combined with that, there's a lot of information there that will go lost. It will still be memorized in your brain, but you will have a very, very hard time remember the context of it. That's why I use pictures, because you've seen the pictures, they're locked in your brain. You have heard my voice, you have heard my words, it's locked in your brain, it's locked in your brain until you die. Think about that. You will always remember what I just said in these. I don't know how long this video is. It is somewhat long, but sometimes it just takes a little longer to explain some stuff. So there you go. That's it. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. God bless you all.